What's happening, fearless networkers? Todd Falcone here for another episode for you guys. So the main reason people fail in network marketing, what do you think it is? What do you think it is? Well, you can't respond, obviously, so I'm just gonna get into it. So, look, and then look, this for me is a very long look. For those of you that might be new to plugging into me, I've been doing this network marketing thing for almost, actually, right at 30 years now. So I have a pretty good perspective on people coming and going in network marketing, and it's not because network marketing doesn't work. Naysayers out there, they'll say, oh yeah, network marketing, it's a flawed concept. It doesn't work. Only the people at the top make the money. You got to be in early, otherwise you're not going to succeed. I mean, and the crazy thing is, like, that's when I hear stuff like that, it's clearly somebody who does not even understand network marketing, because you don't have to be at the top to make money. You can have people in your organization that far out earn you, as you've heard me on other episodes. It works for the people that work it. Does it work the same for everybody who works it? Of course not, because it's a personality-based business. It's people communicating with other human beings, and not every it's a level playing field from the standpoint of everybody has the same comp plan, everybody has the same stuff. It doesn't matter how much education you have, what your race, what your religion is, what your stuff is, but it does matter who you are and what you bring to the table. So whether you bring a high degree of commitment, a high degree of a desire to be excellent at what you do, a solid work ethic, a long-term viewpoint at things in which you embark upon, a willingness to finish things that you started. These are things like when I think about traits, if you will, for successful network marketers. Successful network marketers, they make a decision, they get to work, they keep working, they focus on the right stuff. They don't stop because of discouragement. They push through discouragement and frustration. They have a long-term view, and then they have an understanding that anything that's worthwhile takes time. And so they don't come in with these ridiculously high expectations, and because they're not making this obscene amount of money in whatever period of time they set for themselves, they don't do that. They keep going. They understand it. And so the main reason why people fail in network marketing is it ultimately comes down to them not doing the work, really. Look, there's other reasons why people fail in network marketing. Maybe maybe they were in a stupid deal. Maybe they were in some dumb money game that just wasn't going to win anyhow. And I've seen that happen. But the main reason why people fail in network marketing is they don't do the work to get the result. And it ultimately comes down to something in here, something in your head, right? Why don't they do the work? Is it because they're lazy bums? No. I mean, maybe some of them are just lazy, but ultimately it comes down to a self-worth issue, or a self-confidence issue. And you guys have heard me many times talking about the importance of self-confidence, that it is a confidence game, like our confidence in the profession, our confidence in ourselves. And the cool thing is we can go from a position of not being very confident to being very confident by acquiring the skills over time to improve ourselves. Like even me on video, for example, or me on stage, or me doing anything. I'm not the same guy I was 5, 10, 15 years ago. If you looked at videos that I did 10 years ago, they're awful, right? And over time, and I don't do scripted videos. You see me reading a script. Does it appear that I'm reading a script? I go in well planned into a chunk of content and to discuss that chunk of content, not having to look at something. Maybe I used, on super long videos, maybe I use a couple of bullet points, for example, to keep me on task in terms of what I want to do. But in a video, something like this that might be 10 to 15 minutes long, I worked on this. And so what I want you to think about is okay, when you hit moments of frustration or discouragement and you're thinking about, because if somebody quits network marketing, is that they're a failure? Well, I mean, I don't know. We can look at it in different ways. They quit, and you can't succeed if you quit, right? The only way to fail is to quit. I don't know how somebody could continue to do this year in and year out, continue to work on their skills, continue to focus on the right kinds of activities, continue to be flipping rocks over and showing the business, showing the product, and not succeed. The problem is people, they have a short little, timeline for themselves, or they let their head get so much in the way. And the phrase that I hear so often, because I survey my audiences every year, the phrase I hear all the time is, I just can't seem to get out of my own way. I can't seem to get out of my own way. That's like a very common phrase. So that means that they're not standing in front of themselves, literally, but figuratively they are. And what's standing in front of them? Their fears. Their fears about not being good enough. Their fears about being judged. Their fears about how they're going to be perceived, which is the same thing as being judged. Their fears about somebody saying no. Their fears of being cast out and rejected. And they allow those feelings to dictate their behavior, and it ends up making them not do stuff. So if you don't want to be in this, this column of somebody who fails in network marketing, then you need to work on your mindset. You need to work on your skill set. You need to make sure you're focusing on the right activities, and you need to have a long-term viewpoint at this business, longer than perhaps you think. We don't know how long it's going to take you. Nobody does. And it happens shorter for other people and longer for other people, and then we're comparing ourselves to the people where it happens faster. And then if that makes us discouraged, that's another leading factor that causes us to stop, right? So this business, and it has nothing to do with the look at your company. I mean, if other people are making it in your company, if other people are succeeding in your company and you're not, it's not the company, it's not the product, it's not the compensation plan, because if it's working for other people, I'm talking about the business here, if it's working for other people, then shouldn't it then work for you if you did the work? It may not happen for you in the exact same, because we're all independent, individual human beings, and our situations are all different, and our backgrounds are all different, and what we bring to the table currently as a human being is going to differ from person to person. But if you do the work consistently, you focus on the right activities, you focus on improving your skill sets, you're on this constant improvement. Like, I'm always doing something to grow myself. I'm always doing something to improve the way I do things. I'm always sharpening my saw. You're not going to fall into that failure category. And if a company fails you, if a company goes out of business, that doesn't mean that you're a failure, that you failed in network marketing. The company just went out of business, right? They just went out of business, and I've had companies go out of business, and I, stepped up, went to the next one. That's what I had to do. So think about your situation. And if you understand that the reason people fail, the real reason people fail in network marketing is they don't do the work, and because they don't do the work, they should have failed. They shouldn't have succeeded. Those that do the work succeed. And it's interesting because if you look at an income disclosure statement on a network marketing company's income disclosure statement, none of their income disclosure statements look good because it takes into account every single person that's come into that business to sign up as a distributor, many who never even had the intent of building the business or never even gotten started. I mean, how many people you got on your team right now that aren't doing anything? That said that they wanted to. I mean, in every organization, out of 1,000 people, you're going to have a pretty good percentage of people that never do anything, and then they end up bailing out of network marketing. And it's not because network marketing doesn't work, is they didn't work network marketing. They didn't work the business. They didn't seriously work the business. And when people are totally straight up honest with themselves, because I did about 3 months ago, I did another episode, and I was talking about this whole idea, like when somebody comes to you and they're not winning and they're not succeeding and they're in your organization, like the first thing I always go to, if you're not winning, if you're not making things happen, the very first question I always go to, and I don't know if you caught this episode or not, but this is great for you, is I'll ask my rep. My rep Susan comes up. She says, "Hey, I'm not winning here. This isn't working for me." I'm like, "Cool. Well, let me ask you a question. Give me an idea. How many people have you exposed this product and this business to in the last 90 days?" And they typically will hem and they'll haw, and then they'll go, "Well, not enough." So they already know the answer. They already know that they're not doing the work, but they're frustrated. That's one of those examples of being mad at the lack of results from the work that you never did, right? So again, if you want to know, in my opinion, the biggest reason people fail in network marketing is they don't do the work and they don't deserve to get the result. And they ultimately end up quitting, which I guess we can, I don't know, is quitting failing? Well, if you quit, you have no opportunity to succeed, so I guess we could look at it like that. But it's definitely not because the compensation plan is rigged, because the company owners are padding their pockets, because you weren't the first person in, because it's too late, because of any other thing other than they didn't do the work. And then why didn't they do the work? They didn't do the work because of one thing or another. They were either fearful or they were something. We don't know what it is. So look at your situation. If you're frustrated, the first thing you got to do is kind of look at yourself. Are you letting your fears dictate your behavior? How's your mindset? Do you need to work on your mindset? Are you doing the work? Are you letting your lack of a success mindset get in the way of you actually doing the work? And if so, you wouldn't have deserved to be successful anyhow because you hadn't yet done the work. But if you do the work, I mean, that's a different thing. When you're doing the work and you're not getting the results, I don't see that very often, but that's a fixable situation. And so is not doing the work. You can go from not doing the work to doing the work, but if you're doing the work and you're not getting the result, you're doing the work wrong. That's why. So it's not, and there's sometimes people are in there. I actually find it a much smaller percentage of people that are actually legitimately doing the work that aren't succeeding. But there's an occasion where that might happen, where somebody's just so, I don't know, they're not doing things that are attractive to people. They're very alienating. They're off-putting. Maybe they're not very good. They don't have very good social skills. They're awkward. I don't know. There's a number of other situations, but the main reason again is people just simply don't do the work. So if you're frustrated, if you're struggling, and you're thinking about quitting network marketing and going into that failure category, which I certainly hope that you're not, then look at your situation and fix it, because it can be fixed. So listen, I appreciate you guys for plugging in, whether you're on my podcast and listening to me on audio, whether you're on YouTube. Love to hear your comments. Hop on over to toddfalcone.com/episode 43. That's where the rest of the details from this episode are. There's some great downloads that'll help you be better at doing network marketing. It's toddfalcone.com/episode 43. Appreciate you for plugging in. Until next time, we'll see you. Stay fearless, my friends. Thanks for plugging in.